Welcome back. Doing a video of my solo game, which has actually went amazingly well, but basically just been fighting white lions, which I've heard is kind of a trap, but I wanted to build sets and get some white lion gear because in my first Thursday night game last week, felt like we were doing really well until this fight, which is the butcher. So spoilers, by the way. So I hope that I'm prepared, but I don't know because in our fight, I think it literally went like 2 rounds, and everyone was dead. So I didn't even get to see much of what the butcher does. But this time a couple of my characters are a little better geared. I think one of the advantages of running a solo game is you can deck out one survivor and give them a lot of bonuses to the detriment of your other survivors. And as long as they kind of try to stay out of harm's way or do whatnot, you're probably not as at much of a risk of losing the survivors, but the survivors that you do deck out are quite a bit better off. So I do think that that's a positive, because when you're playing in a multiplayer game, you're going to have, oh, I want this for this dude, or I want this for my guy, and, so you've always got to kind of deal with that in a cooperative game. It's very difficult to be like, okay, here's all of the gear for that one guy, and we'll just sit here with basic characters. So anyway, we have four survivors here. On the far left, we have Cheeto, we have Panther, we have Caspian, and we have Dishes. So with this, this survivor here, Cheeto, she has a catgut bow, some monster grease, a couple of white lion pieces, and a bone axe for melee, along with just the starting cloth. So the couple of pieces of white lion gear do give her the ability to pounce and then gain some benefits of that. So if she's within range and can spin both of those, the pounce might be a good idea versus the bow. I don't know. This is the first time I've built the bow or really get to use it, so we'll see if that does any good. Panther over here, she's probably the most geared. She has a full set of rawhide armor, some dried acanthus, monster grease, and then a king's spear. And then, these survivors are actually a little bit decked out. So we've got some positives and stats too, like Cheeto is +1 accuracy, +1 evasion, and +1 luck. She also got immortal, which means that as long as she's insane, all damage goes straight to the brain location until she's not insane anymore. Then damage is applied as normal. None of them are proficient with weapons, though. I don't know. It seems like weapon proficiencies are super late. She will finally gain a specialist in spear after this if she does not die. But no one else is close. 2 of the survivors, these 2, don't even have a point in weapon proficiency. She's not even old enough to get there, and Caspian only has 1. So Caspian here, he has the cross-arm block, which allows him to take 1 hit and move it to the arms if he wants. He's been kind of messed up, and I almost thought about just leaving him behind, but then I built the Zambato, I think that's how it's said, which is a giant sword, basically, which you can't can't use more than one speed for attacks, so you can only do one attack per round with a slow weapon. Well, he had some negative events that dropped him in speed, but then gave him, I think it was luck, and he got an evasion point. But then, of course, after I kind of built him to be this huge smashing guy, then he got -1 accuracy, so now he can't hit anything. But he's pretty much geared out in... he's got a bunch of leather, he's got a bone axe, and so he's got a bone axe and a Zimbato, and there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, they're both frail weapons, which means that if they hit a super dense location, they'll shatter. And the other reason is the White Lion Boots has 2 puzzle piece reds, which is +1 movement. So he's got that ability with putting the bone axe and the Zimbato next to him. And then some other bonuses with the gear. And then Dishes here, she got, that's why she's coming, is I guess I probably could have taken it off of her and put it on someone else, but whatever. I mean, they would have been a basic survivor anyway. She has like no skills, no stats, nothing, been on 1 hunt, but has a pair of boots, some fecal salve, a bone blade, but she got a lantern sword from one of the events, which, by the way, I was doing super good. Really only lost 1 person during showdowns, but then events just kind of crippled my settlement. I lost like 5 people to events, and one of the events allowed me to get this lantern sword, which is totally badass from what I can see. But anyway, so that's kind of the basic gear and stats and whatnot. Now, Panther, because she has the full set of rawhide armor, all of the armor locations go from 1 to 2. So she has 2 armor in each location, and then the other set bonus from having all the pieces is that whenever she spends a survival, she rolls a die, and on a 6 or better, she gains that survival back, which will help with things like encourage, dodge, using all of these abilities, because my survival limit is only 4, so that should help keep my survivors moving. The Butcher itself has some pretty crazy abilities for just being like a level 1, and I'll kind of bring these out here. So one of the first abilities, let me get that to focus up, Infectious Lunacy. See, when you suffer brain damage, gain lunacy tokens equal to the damage. When you have 3 or more, you suffer the frenzy brain trauma, or remove them all and suffer the frenzy brain trauma. And I believe that you can gain frenzy more than once during a battle. So he does that. The Berserker card, you draw +1 AI card every monster turn, so he's going to be attacking twice essentially. Really pretty picture on this one of dreaded trophies of ripping a face off. Basically, I'm not going to go too far into it, but every time a survivor dies, he just gets more ridiculous. And then the last special ability is Fast Target, which means that during each monster turn, you reshuffle the hit location deck. So his hit location deck is always randomized and always fresh. So I don't know exactly what's in here. Like I said, I didn't really get to fight him. So this is pretty much going in blind, and I don't know, but I just kind of have a feeling that this won't end well, especially with how good my luck has been. But we will see. Now, one of the bonuses when you do start this fight is you're protecting your village, so you actually get to go first, when normally the monsters on the showdown tend to go first. There. So we'll get to go first. Now, the other thing is we got this monster corpse. So normally the Monster Corpse gives you the ability to go first, and you get to put it anywhere, and then you can go search it for items, but of course that was kind of a non-effect since we were already going first. Let's see here. We have a couple of things that we can do. Let me see if I did this right though. Yeah, I did not. Okay, imagine that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess either way it's going to be the same. Okay. So right off the bat, here's the thing, is that I don't know, because he has 2 AI cards, which means he's going to get to move twice, and he has a movement of 5 and a toughness of 9. So yes, the positive is that you get to go first, but unless your survivors are moving to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which most survivors are, they can't even get within range to hit him. So I don't know if it's really even a positive, because all you're doing is getting closer to him so he can smash you anyway. But the good thing is that with innovations I actually have both surge and dash. So I'm thinking, I feel like this is a fight that you just kind of go all out as much as you can. Again, I could be wrong, but that's what we're going to go ahead and try. So we are going to first spend a survival with Cheeto over here, which will allow her to dash so she can move 5. And we want to get within 6, so 1, 2, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll go ahead and go there on top of the monster, and then with the catgut bow, it has a range of 6, but it's cumbersome, which means you have to spend a movement as an additional cost of activating this this weapon. So you have to spend your activation and your movement to be able to use this. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and it's 2 dice. It hits on a 7 or better. She does have +1 accuracy, and she has a luck of 1, which doesn't really affect anything with that, but basically means she's going to hit on a 6 or better. And she does not, which is awesome. 50% chance and fail. Okay. So there's that. Now, Caspian, because of the white line boots and the special ability that you get from the puzzle piece matching, he does have +1 movement, so he can actually move 6, which would get him straight into the face, but unfortunately he only hits on a 7 or better because of the -1 accuracy. But again, I still think I've just kind of got to get in here and do this. So that's what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to go ahead and activate and roll our 1 die. So 7 or better. And that is a miss. I could surge, but I think I'm going to go ahead and save it at this point. Just because he really needs to be able to get to the blind spot to realistically be able to hit the butcher. So Panther, we are going to go ahead and spend a survival to dash. So she is down 3, and then move her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, with the spear, she has a range of 2, and as far as I know, you should be able to attack at an angle because it's just 1, 2, or 1, 2. So I'm going to do that, hopefully kind of stay outside of these arcs. I don't know if it matters, but the cardinal directions, obviously, with the Screaming Antelope and the White Lion have been deadly places to be. So we're going to try to do that. Of course, he probably has a zone of death or something right next to him, but whatever. Okay, so for the King Spear, we have 2 speed. She does have a bunch of bonuses for strength and some accuracy bonuses, so she's 2 speed and needs to hit on a 5 or better. And she did get a Lantern 10. So we have... Okay, so this is bad, but not bad. Good that she got it, but this is the Armored Pig Shoulder. It's a super dense location, which means that if a frail weapon is hit, or a frail weapon hits this, whether it wounds or not, after all hit locations have been discarded, you archive the weapon. So it's an attempt to wound, not an actual wound. So this is one of the reasons that I have some backup weapons on these guys. So he's at a toughness of 9. So the King Spear is 3 plus the 2 here. So I need a 4 or better. And I got a 7, so we got 1 wound right off the bat. Well, not right off the bat, after all those attacks. Oh, and then I forgot with the dash I did get a roll again, and I got my survival back. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spend it again to go ahead and surge. You can only do 1 survival action per character per round. So she can't dash again, and after this she won't be able to surge again. But I'm going to try to get my survival back from the surge, and 3 I do not, but I will get to try to attack again. So we're at 5 or better, 1 hit, and this is the Butcher's Mask. It is a wound bonus here, so we need again a 4 or better. 6, that is a hit. Oh, this actually is a wound and a failure, so if you wound it, you get, it looks like a positive. If you fail, then there's some negatives. So the wound here is the blow shocks the Butcher, knocking it off balance. The Butcher staggers, gaining -2 toughness until the end of the round. So that's good. Let's go ahead and grab some toughness tokens. Toss those over here, so he's -2 toughness until the end of the round. Okay, so that is going to be it for Panther, and then we're definitely going to try to take advantage of this and bring dishes up. So she is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She can go ahead and get behind with a dash, which I probably should have done for Caspian there, but you know, even though I said I wasn't going to be conservative, I still was. But it is what it is. So go ahead and dash with dishes. Now she has the Lantern Sword. It is a 5 or better to hit normally, but because she is on the back side, it is only a 4 or better to hit. She has no stat bonuses or anything like that. So that is 3 hits. So we have 2 cleavers that got hit, which is great. They are in previous locations. There is no, unlike the Shimmering Mane, there's no special crit or anything like that, but it says the attacker's heart is frozen with dread. Attacker gains +1 insanity for each one, which is kind of good, I think. because Dishes was only at 1 insanity, so now she is at 3. She is insane. And then we have the Furious Gauntlet, which looks like not a great failed effect, so hopefully we can go ahead and wound. Now the Lantern Sword has a strength of 3, but after you roll to wound, you add another 1d10 worth of strength. So the first roll is to see if you crit. The second roll just adds to it. So if you roll a 1, well actually if you roll a 1, you cancel any of the other hits and the attack. So don't roll a 1 on your first, but yeah, otherwise you add to it, and so it can be ridiculously strong in terms of being able to cause a wound. That is a crit, which is awesome, like with the Zambato. It has deadly and devastating, so whenever you wound, you inflict an additional wound, and then deadly adds more luck to it. So, you know, some of these things with some of these weapons that you get later on, they have some pretty cool attacks. Oh, and the Bone Axe, which is another one. It has Savage, so if you critically wound, you cause an additional wound. It doesn't apply to impervious hit locations, but that's still good because crit didn't do anything special necessarily, but hey, wound is a wound. Okay, so we got that. I almost feel like going ahead and, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and Surge. That brings her to 2 survival. I'm probably playing with her life pretty bad right now, but we're going to go ahead and attack again. So this gets 3 dice, 4 better 2 hits. So 2 hits, Furious Breastplate, and Thick Cape. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, that's doesn't seem the best, but we'll go ahead and do the Furious Breastplate. I actually hope I don't crit on this one. Alright, so it's +2 toughness, -2 toughness, so I'm at a 3 versus the 9, so 6 or more to wound, and of course I crit, and I can't use survival, and I get knocked down. I don't get to do this one. I do get to do a wound, but what Lantern Explosion does is when you crit, your attack shatters one of the trophy lanterns hanging on the butcher's chest, and it sears your corneas. The attacker is knocked down and suffers blinded severe head injury, which I have not had before, and I'm sure it's super awesome. So let me look that up real quick, and then we will get on with the monster's turn. So, head, blinded severe head injury. Yeah, so lose an eye, suffer -1 permanent accuracy, and I gain a bleeding token. So now I've got a couple of survivors that are not great at hitting things. And she's already got a bleeding token and is knocked down. Alright, like I said, playing with Dishes life right there. Okay, so the Butcher's turn is going to draw 2 AI cards. So he got Hack and Hugh. Hack is closest threat facing, which would be Caspian here. So he's going to move and attack target, speed 2, accuracy 4 better, and damage of 1. But if he does damage, the target gains a bleeding token. These two minus toughness Minus toughness tokens are going to be gone, so we'll go ahead and throw those back. Alright, so speed of 2. Caspian has 1 evasion normally, 1 evasion from a monster grease, and 1 evasion from a rawhide vest. So at least he's got some ability possibly to dodge. So that means that Pack is only hitting on a 7 or better. 1 and a 4. So that is nothing but Pack. Okay, so that is discarded. And then Hugh is going to be closest threat facing. So again, we're hitting Caspian. It's a speed 1, an accuracy of 3 or better, but damage of 3. After damage is bleed and bash. Bleed is bleeding token, bash is they get knocked down. So again, 3 evasion total extra, so 6 or better to hit on this one. And the Lantern 10. So I'm going to go ahead and use Survival since it is a 3 damage. That's a pretty brutal one. So we will use the Survival to dodge since he hasn't done that yet. Plus, not only is it 3 damage, you get a bleeding token and you get knocked down. So that's a pretty good one to avoid, I would think. Alright, so at, I guess it was supposed to be the beginning of the turn. See, I'm cheating again, not reading. Not that it should matter. I don't know of any time that I can interrupt a monster's turn. But we have to shuffle the hit location deck again, and that's where things like those stupid cleavers that give you insanity but are impervious, which means you can't damage them, come back into play. So it's a wasted attack essentially. Those will come out. We will have Dishes stand back up because she got to stand back up at the end of the next monster turn. I'm going to pause for a second to get a drink here. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. It's to the survivor's turn. We are going to go ahead and have... And I think we're going to have Dishes swing on him since she's -1 accuracy now, so... a little bit less of a chance to hit. So maybe we can, well, I don't know. I don't know if there's traps in there. I guess I didn't see one, but alright, so 3, so she is now at a 6 or better though, because now she has lost an eye. So that's 2 hits. And right there, trap. Okay. Pull the second one. And then reshuffle it. So it says, Overpower. The Butcher explodes in a burst of ferocity, a zone of malice, which of course is all of these squares around him. Your attacker is doomed. All survivors in the zone of malice gain 1 bleeding token and suffer knockback 5. Awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Panther will take 1. That's why I should have, instead of going here, I should have went here, or here somewhere. And so another 2. We've got 1 for Caspian and 1 for Dishes. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then perform basic action, target the attacker. So he is going to come here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Just got that. And his basic action is move and attack target. Speed 2, accuracy 4 better, 1 damage, and target gains a bleeding token. She has no evasion and an armor on the waist and legs, and already has 2 bleeding tokens. This probably isn't going to end well, but hopefully I can roll for him like I roll for my survivors. Well, there's 1. Okay, so only 1 damage, but that's still good. Not sure exactly where I was with that. Camera ran out of memory. I was trying to record it a little bit higher of a quality, but means I don't have as long to record before I have to switch out a memory card. Anyway, it was 1 attack, 1 missed. I guess instead of taking the damage, since she already has 2 bleeding tokens. Oh wait, no, this is a trap. Never mind, can't do that. So yes, she has to. I rolled body hit location. So she is light damage in the body, and we have to give her another bleeding token, but at least he missed with 1 of the shots. But of course now everyone's all far away, except for Panther here, so we will move her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just really need it, 2, 5 or better, 4 or better to hit. I think I'm going to do that, 4 or better to hit. It's 2. And had to reshuffle the deck because of the trap. So we have Furious Gut and then that Furious Breastplate again. Great. Definitely don't want to crit on this. Okay, so if I wound it on the Furious Gut, it's knocked down, which is totally awesome. So it is at 9 toughness plus the 3, 4, 5, so it's a 4 or better to wound. 8 wound, knocked down. Alright, that is awesome. Okay, so all reactions are cancelled, and all hit rolls succeed on a 3 or better. So that is a wound. AI card is gone, and we will roll to wound a 3, which I'm pretty sure didn't hit. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, and oh, it's plus 2 toughness to win this location, so that is gone. But we're going to go ahead and surge with her. So 8, she gets it back, so she still has 3 survival, and she gets to roll twice again, and a 1, 3 or better to hit, and I roll a 1. And Cleaver, plus 1 insanity, so no damage. Awesome. So she is at 9 insanity. Yeah, she's been doing some crazy stuff. Oh yes, that was right. What else? Everyone, just forgot about that wound. All survivors gain plus 1 courage. And of course they all already got their courage on this hunt against a white lion. I mean, I went from no courage to everyone filled up, I guess, except for Cheeto. So Cheeto gets the bold event, but actually gets it during Showdown, which is sweet. That's the first time I've seen that. It's almost always on the hunt phase. Ignore being knocked down by brain trauma and intimidation. Okay. Since she's immortal, that's kind of cool. And then she gets a roll on the table. Oh, 1. +1 strength token. God, I hate that white die. I always roll it. It's the worst. Damage, strength. +1 strength token. 2 Cheetos, so no permanent bonus, which kind of sucks, but whatever. Okay. So, let's pin him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And do we want to dash? I think we do. It's 3 or better. This is his time to shine with his Zimbato. Dash, so he's at 2. And swing. 3. Okay, no reaction, so that's fine. And the Zimbato is slow, frail, and deadly, which I believe means he crits on deadly. It's basically +1 luck. You just double check that rule. Since I got it last night, I haven't really played with it too much. Deadly +1 luck while attacking with this weapon. Yep, so he technically has a luck of +2, so he crits on an 8, 9, or 10, and is going to wound. When he wounds, he inflicts 1 additional wound. Zimbato is a 6 strength. He doesn't have any bonus strength, so I need a 2 or better. No, 3 or better. Sorry, 3 or better to wound because it's at a 9. 5 wound, so 2 wounds, no crit, which is fine. But that is awesome. Starting to do some damage, and again, this is the time, right? Let's go ahead and surge. He's going to spend survival 6. That is a hit. Son of a bitch. Super dense. Okay. So he's going to lose his movement too. So I'm not going to be moving 5. 4. At least he wounds. But my Zimbato is gone. At least I have an axe with him. But because of his -1 speed, he's only swinging once with it. His bone axe. Like I said, we lost the movement. Gone. Okay. And then let's do 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And get 2 dice with the cat got bow. 3 or better to hit. 8 and a 4. 2 shots. I guess we can do the thick cape since all reflexes or all reactions are cancelled. So it's a strength of 3. She has a +1 strength token, and that's it. So 4. So we need a 5 or better to wound. Nothing. Okay. Second one is Furious Scrag. If you killed it at this location, there's some bonuses. That's not going to happen. So 5 or better again. That is a crit. Nothing matters on these cards. But another AI is gone. And you know what? While he's down, let's surge. Oh, right. I moved and then attacked, which I couldn't do. So I should have dashed. And then I can't surge because it just gives me an activation. And I don't have another movement to do. Because you have to use a movement and an activation to activate the bow. So, she was at 3 survival. She will be down to 2 to use dash. I cannot surge. I mean, I could, but there's really no reason for me to. So that will end our turn. Alright. I'm going to shuffle these. I will stand up the butcher in a second. He is actually down to 3 AI cards already. Whew. This is... I don't want to get too excited here. Lost a weapon. Somebody lost an eye. But definitely not as super awful as it was the last time that we did this. Of course, all my people are right next to him again. So I'm sure that will end great if we pull that trap card right off the bat, which is a possibility since we shuffle these every time. I'll remove that. Shuffle these. But as you can see, if you've watched some of the other videos, I don't think anyone's put up a Screaming Antelope yet. But I didn't fight one in my solo stuff, so I haven't put it up. I've fought the Screaming Antelope a couple of times. Screaming Antelope is definitely a bit different than the White Lion, and the Butcher is a lot different than either of those. I would say that the White Lion and the Screaming Antelope are definitely a bit closer in terms of liking to run around and doing things like that, but this guy's just hammers on you, and all of his wound reactions, I mean, like having high strength and not failing to wound, I think is kind of the key to this fight. But anyway, he had Bite first, so pick target, closest threat facing, I don't have any there, and then it's just closest threat, so we have choice there with anything, so I can choose wow, 2 speed, no damage, 4 better accuracy, but after the hit, the target suffers 1 random severe head injury. Doesn't sound great. Man. No, she's already got 3 bleeding tokens. I hate to kind of murder her, but I think that's what we're gonna do. So we will face it to dishes here, and she has no evasion, so it's 2 hits, so she is going to suffer a random. That is not good. That is a 2. Head to head explosion. Oh, all other survivors are so disturbed they lose a survival. Which is great. Caspian is down to none. Panther is at 2. She is dead and is placed on dreaded trophies. So now Dreaded trophies is in effect. All attack profiles gain after damage bleed 1. So that is sweet. Bite gets discarded, and Cheeto goes down to 1 survival. Okay, so now we do Hue again. Closest threat facing, then closest threat, no target, menace. So this is closest threat. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. I think technically, no, I mean, it depends on, I guess, how brutal you want to play. It says move the shortest distance to target. So don't know how it would be considered. So if you could move over 1, down 1, whatever, but it would end up being the same. So if I moved 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, I could either choose to knock down and knock back my survivors, or I can just kind of move them that way and not do it, which I think is, I don't know if that's gaming the game. Let me know what you guys think. But it just says the shortest distance or whatever, and they're all the shortest distance, and I would say the... Okay, again, I don't know where it was that cut off a little bit earlier. I think that my camera was lying to me about that being filled, but whatever. Okay, so Hue, right here was a 3 or better accuracy. Rolled a 5, but Dishes does have a couple of evasion bonuses, which is enough to make Hue miss. So there was no damage. None of those tokens go into effect, and we are good there. So now it's back to the survivors. So let's go ahead. Alright, this was the start of the survivor's turn. Camera, I don't know what it was doing, but filled up or something, so had to offload a few things. And so anyway, what I was doing is I was moving her here to attack here, and the other thing that I wanted to say was with Dishes, even though she had 2 survival, it didn't matter if she dodged one of the shots. I don't know if I said that, because if she got hit even once, she was going to take a head critical wound, so I figured whatever save it, since the actual hit didn't do any damage, it was the after hit special ability, so whatever. So anyway, we've got Panther here. She's going to go ahead and take a shot on the Butcher. So again, in the blind spot, so we're looking at 4 or better, and this is both times. So survival again. 2 surge. See if I get it back. 7 I do. I erase things before that. Alright, so 4 or better. 1 hit. Furious Greaves, reflex, full move towards the attacker. Don't move if already adjacent. Oh, that's okay. So to wound, it's at a 9, 3, 4, 5, 4 or better, and 1, no wound. Let's see, full move towards the attacker. Don't move if already adjacent. So I guess I would turn it. I mean, personally. So, alright, we'll go ahead and do that. So at least it's facing its attacker. Now we have Caspian here. Let's go ahead and move him 1, 2, 3, 4. And, oh, that's right, he doesn't have a Zimbato anymore. Well, whatever. We're going to swing with the Bone Axe. He's -1 speed, so only gets one shot with it. He has -1 accuracy, but being the blind spot, it's +1, so still 6 or better. 1 hit, and rolls a 1. He has no survival, so that is it for his turn. And yeah, see, this is getting kind of bad pretty quickly. I mean, he only has 3 AI cards left, but now with 1 survivor dead, he is going to add bleeding to his attack, so now I can't roll for anything. There's no rules against using ranged weapons from what I can see adjacent, so let's go ahead and use the catgut bow. Because she only has 1 survival left. So we're looking at 6 or better. It's 1 hit. And it is the cleaver. So, +1 insanity. And she can't use survival to attack with the bow again. She could use it to try to hit with the Bone Axe. Let's see here. Oh, she's actually 5 or better. But it mattered. You know what? Man. I'm just playing with fire, I think, but I'm going to go ahead and surge her. I'm going to use the Bone Axe this time because it's the same. I shouldn't have even used the catgut bow. Whatever. Alright, so Bone Axe it is. This is, since she's in the blind spot, she actually has +1 accuracy too, which I forgot on the other one. So she's hitting on a 5 or better. So it's 2 hits. Furious Crown and Vambraces. All survivors adjacent. Okay, don't want to do that. It's gonna happen, but hopefully we do not fail. So she's at a 3. +1 strength 4. So I need a 5 or better, I think. Yeah, 5 or better. Damn it, come on. So many 1s now. Okay, fail. Lashes out. Before damage, Headhunter always hits the head location, which doesn't matter because she is mortal. Just gonna do that. And basic action. 2 shots, accuracy 4. She has monster grease and an evasion. Yes. So 6 or better to hit. Only 1 hits, and that is 2. The head she cannot dodge, and she gains a bleeding token because of the dreaded trophies. So she will gain that no matter what because damage was given, but it does go to her insanity because of the immortal. Alright, so that is gone, and now try to hit this crown, which is bad because it's a reflex. Again, 5 or better. And a 1. Why not? All survivors suffer bash. So they are all knockdown. Double check on bash. I don't think it causes damage. I think it's just a knockdown. Yeah, it just causes survivors to be knocked down, which, I don't know, may not be horrible if we get a threat card or two. Alright, so let's shuffle these hit locations. These hit locations are brutal. Brutal! Did tons of damage before, and now down to 3 survivors. He's starting to pick up the pace here. Hitting those cleavers sucks a lot because you just don't do damage. And with his double attacks each turn, makes it super awesome. So the first card is Hack, and then Hue. So let's see, closest threat facing, closest threat, technically none of them are threats, so he does Menace. Turn the Butcher to face the closest survivor. This survivor suffers 1 brain damage per monster level. Oh, that's right. She got a infectious lunacy token for taking a brain damage, which I almost forgot about. Cheeto did. Okay, so now we've got to figure out who we want to give that brain damage to. So we'll just do Menace. Oh, and then it's going to move and attack no targets. So that's good. No basic action. So it's going to Menace twice, so let's go ahead and give 2 to Panther, because she has highest insanity. That'll bring her down to 8. So that one might actually not have been as horrible as it could have been, but now we've got to give her infectious lunacy, and she has 2 tokens on that. Alright, survivor's turn. Let's go ahead and stand them up. Alright, Panther still has the best shot to actually do damage here. Well, let's move her out of the way. 1, 2, 3. And then have her strike from there. 6 or better. Plus 1 accuracy, so 5 or better. 1 hit. Furious Gut. Oh, this is the knockdown. Oh, come on. 4 or better. 5. Boom. Knockdown. All survivors gain a courage. So, takes 1 damage. Is knocked down. Gain a courage. 3 of the survivors that are still living. And then, let's see here. Well, I guess we surge again. Get it back. Go ahead and try to kick him while he's down. 1 hit. Furious Shoulder, reflexes were cancelled, and 6 is a wound. So he is down to 1 AI card. Let's let's go ahead and let Cheeto hit 4 and a 1. So many ones now. Overpowered trap. Great. He stands up whenever there's a trap. All this stuff happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I guess not knocked down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They both gain a bleeding token. Good thing I moved her out. So Caspian has 2 now, and Cheeto has 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he is going to perform a basic action on her. She has evasion 2, I think, though. One, 2, oh, 3. So he's hitting on a 7 or better. 1, can't dodge it, so I will take brain damage and 2 bleeding tokens because of the trophy plus his standard basic attack gives bleed 1 as well. I believe that's I believe it stacks, so it's at bleed 2. So she suffers another brain damage. So she's at 4. Again, because of a mortal, he gets moved over. She gets another frenzy token, which doesn't matter because she won't survive against the next shot anyway. She has no survival left, so now it is Caspian's turn. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully you can do something here. 3, that is not a hit. So it is back to the Butcher's turn. Now, I guess I don't know, I would assume that he only gets to draw 1 card because he is down to 1 card. So that's how I'm going to play it. We have Hugh here, closest threat facing. That will be Cheeto. Let's see, 1 speed, 6 or better. This will kill her if it hits 4. That is a miss. I can see that. I can't, but 4. So nothing there. AI card goes back. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, oh, right after the shuffle, hopefully put the trap right back on top, which is what I've been doing. Pretty awesome. Nothing better than that. And then I'm going to spend a survival to have her dash to get into a blind spot. Hope to God to do 2 damage and not draw a trap. So there's that. Spend my survival 7, get it back. So do 6 accuracy, blind spot 4. Those are both hits. Furious Greaves and Butcher's Mask. Alright, let's try the Butcher's Mask first. Well, no, actually the Furious Greaves, because it's full move towards the attacker, don't move refer to adjacent. Let's try that one first. 3, 4, 5, so 4 or better. That is a wound. And we'll just turn around. Okay, this is it. Let's see if I can do it. 8. Dead wound. That was the -2 toughness until end of round. Does not matter. Whew. Man, I thought that was going to end very, very poorly for Cheeto over there. Okay, so let's do the aftermath. See what happens. Showdown Butcher. We'll get a Hunt XP, Weapon Proficiency, which means the Panther will finally get a Specialist, and rewards. Don't have to worry about defeat. Rewards. Roll 1d10 and add the Butcher's level to the result. It's only a level 1. The group gains any listed resources or gear. 3, 4. Butcher lets loose a final roar, its body explodes, scattering 1d5 broken lantern resources. Wow, that was really dumb for what I could have gotten. Awesome. Okay, well, get some scrap. Usually do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if that makes any sense. So 1, of course. Well, that's awesome. Lost a survivor, lost a Zambato, and gained 1 broken lantern resource. Welcome to Kingdom Death. I guess at least we survived, which is better than I can say for our last settlement and interaction with the Butcher. But man, he is still pretty tough. The Nemesis things are no joke. So, alright. That is it for this video. Here is my sweet reward. And I will see you guys later.